Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Sunday the 18th of June 2023. I should be playing the Observer Sudoku soon. And of course, if you are a regular to the game of Observer Sudoku, you will know that they do not rate it themselves. They don't give us any indication whatsoever of difficulty level, so they leave us to figure it out for ourselves, which hopefully I have given you an indication on the thumbnail of this, but at this moment when I'm playing the game I have no idea, so I shall give you a rundown of the rules before starting, just in case it turns out to be an easy game and we get some beginners along with us today. On my way out for breakfast a while ago, I was cornered by my next door neighbor, my elderly next door neighbor, whose voice sometimes appears in these videos accidentally, because she's very close to the room where I make these videos, and taken to task about the mess in my garden, and she's quite right again. The last time I had the garden cleared, regulars, if you've been listening to the channel for a long time, you'll know that I did actually have the garden cleared by her and her friend, her elderly friend. These, I don't know, septuagenarians maybe they are, who put me to shame because I can't do anything in that garden. It's so terrible. Since that time, I did actually have like more cement put down in the garden to kind of like, so there really are only cracks, but it's amazing that from small cracks huge weeds can grow, and have basically covered the whole floor, the whole area in weeds again. And the thing is, I actually was going to, I keep kind of putting off. I can do little bits at a time, but I can't do much. I just don't have the energy to do it. It's been so incredibly hot recently, and on Saturday evenings we have the refuse collectors come, and I was going to do some yesterday and it rained, and I thought, oh no, now's not a good time because it's going to get wet, so I was put off again. So I didn't even have the excuse of like, I'm doing it, you know. I really am not. It's so terrible. So anyway, I agreed and fixed a price, although I know it's going to cost me more than that if they help each other. And really, I should have them come in regularly and do it, shouldn't I? That would be a more suitable thing. It's not too expensive, so I should really do that, but I don't know why I don't. What's going on in the world? More fun and games from the Tories. Apparently, I'm not sure, the Daily Mirror or the Sunday Mirror has released a video of lots of Tories in a party together during lockdown, when they were supposed to be socially distancing and only a couple of people in the room, and they're living it up. And idiotically, they took video of themselves because they're quite young, I suppose, young toughs. And anyway, there was a photo in the Observer today, so you could check that out. But I haven't seen the actual video. I don't really think it's worth. Can't really say that I want to go and search for the video anyway. No doubt it will appear in my YouTube feed at some point. But you know, the hypocrisy and rule breaking hopefully will put a nail in their coffin at the next general election and get them out. And not that I'm particularly confident that Keir Starmer is going to do anything dramatic that needs to be done. He seems to be getting more and more Tory-ish by the day, so that's quite depressing. But anyway, anything's got to be better than the current lot. Right, shall we begin? So let's explain the game of Sudoku to those who are new to the game. So we have 9 squares in each row across, like this, and we have 9 squares in each column. And you can see this column here is absolutely blank. We don't have anything in here. And this column has 7 digits already included. And we only have 2 more to find the entire series of 1 to 9, because that's the object of the game, is to place digits 1 to 9 in each column, each row, and then each of these small blocks as well, these 3x3 blocks, of which there are 9. And that's all you need to know, except that it's a game of logic, not a game of mathematics. So let's look at this column, which helpfully has just 2 empty squares, and certainly we can complete this column. By the way, this is rather a strange pattern to you. Does it look like a stick person on their side. Strange. Anyway, how do we know? Right, we have to find the missing numbers first of all. So when we examine the numbers that we have, we find what are missing are digits 1 and 7. And so that means that only 1 and 7 can fit into these two empty squares. And when we look across here, we know that we already have a 1 in this row, and that means 1 cannot reappear in this row. So this square clearly cannot be a 1, and that means 1 will be up there. And now if we check through all of the numbers, we will find that the missing number is 7, and that's the number that goes there. Now we'll use this number that we just placed, as we often do in Sudoku, and say that it blocks this row over here. So in this small section here, this 3x3 grid, 7 blocks across here, and I say blocks means forbids any other 7 from appearing, and we've got 7 blocking across here like this. And you're ahead of me, aren't you? You've already seen that 7 can go only in that square there. And we're going to continue with these 7s. We have the 7s blocking up here, down here, and across here like this. So that's going to give us a 7 in that square. Now, can we do any more with the 7s? The answer is no. When we examine the possible places where they can go, oh, I tell a lie. We can do more with the 7s. I thought we couldn't, but I missed the 7. So we have 7s blocking up here, and we have 7 blocking across here like this. So indeed, in this top block, we can get a 7. And now there is only one more to get. Just this block here is the only block that doesn't have 7. We are sure to be able to find it. 7s. I don't even need this one. We'll just take this one here. Oh, I do need that one, sorry, to get across here. There we go. There's a 7 in that square there. Right, so that's how we begin. Excuse me. How do we go on? Okay, in this column here, we don't yet have a 4, an 8, and a 9. Okay, so what we can say is that the 4 and the 9 are in the same row. So when we look at this square and say it can only be 4, 8, and 9, and it can't be 4 and it can't be 9, so it's got to be 8. And now we have the 9 blocking this square up here, and so we know that the 9 must be down here, and then we can say that the 4 goes there. In this column here, we don't yet have a 3. Now this 3 will block both of these squares here, and this 3 will block this square, and this 3 will block this square. So all of these blue squares are covered by existing 3s, and therefore a 3 must appear in that square there. And now 3s block across these rows, and that will give us a 3 in that square there. Now missing digits along this row are 1, 4, and 6, and we have 4 and 6 already in this block. So when we consider this square and ask ourselves, can it be 1? Yeah. Can it be 4? No. Can it be 6? No. Well, it must be 1 because they only have 3 options, right? And now we know that the 4 and the 6 are going to be left in these squares. And now this 6 blocks across here, and that's going to give us a 6 in that square there. And then we have 1 blocking across like this, and that's going to give us a 1 in that square. And we can get this digit here, this empty square here. We must know what it is. Why is that true? because we can work out what goes here. We know it's 4 and 6, and that means we know what goes in these two squares. It's not 4 or 6, so it has to be 2 and 5. So we have 2 and 5 in these squares only. And this square here must not contain 2 or 5, but it must be the other number for the whole series, and that's going to be an 8. Or you could have just said 8 blocks across there, if you prefer. Looking at it in that way, you will find there are many ways to solve the game of Sudoku. We have 9 blocking up here, which is going to give us a 9 in that square. And now there's only one number missing for this particular block here, which is the 2. So we'll place the 2 there. We have 9 blocking across these rows and a 9 down here. So that's going to place a 9 there. We have... No, we don't. I sometimes think I see things. Oh, yes, I do. There we go. 5 up here, so we can place a 5 there and a 4 in that square. Okay. Now we have 8 and 9 blocking across here like this. Both 8 and 9 block across here. So this square can't be 8 or 9, and this square can't be 8 or 9, so that leaves only 2 spaces. So we know that 8 and 9 are in these squares here, and we'll try to remember that. But so that means that these 2 squares cannot contain 8 or 9. They must be 1 and 6, and now we have an intersecting 6 up here, so we know this can't be 6, that must be 6, and that must be 1. We'll take those 1s across like this, and up and down there, and that's going to give us a 1 in that square. And now the 1 across here and down here means that we'll find a 1 in that square. I think I'm just going to click around and see what I can see now. So far I have got not much of an idea about whether this game is going to be easy, medium or difficult. I know you would think, well, I've got this far and it's been pretty easy, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy until the end. So we have to be a little bit careful about making pronouncements too early on. We have 9 blocking down here, 9 up here, and 9 across here, which will give us a 9 in that square. 9 blocks across here, that is our 9, and this is our 8, because that's all we can put left. Now the 8's block across here and down here. That's going to give us an 8 in that square. And now this row down here needs an 8, and we've got a blocking 8 here and another blocking 8 here, and so we can say you must be an 8 for sure. Aha. Alright, so we have 5 blocking across these 2 rows like this, and 5 blocking up here. So what does it mean? It means in this block up here we've only got 5 in this square and this square, and down here we've got 5 in this square or this square. Okay, so I'm just gonna highlight those. So these are the squares where we know 5 appears. Now if we've got 5 in this square, 5 must be here, and if we've got 5 here, 5 will be here. But what that means is in this block here, none of these 3 squares can be 5. Okay, we can remove them. 5 must appear in this column here if we see a pattern like this. Okay, and actually, as luck would have it, we have an intersecting 5 here, and so we can say that the 5 goes there. Then we have 5 blocking across like this, and that's going to put a 5 there. We have a 3 blocking this square here. We need a 3 in this row, so that's going to be a 3, and a 2 will complete the row. And now we have 2 across here and 2 up here, so that means that must be a 2 there. Missing numbers in this row look to me to be 4 and 6, and we've got the 6 blocking up here, so we know that that's going to be a 6. We also, because the 6 blocks up here, we know that that's got to be a 6 as well, and then the 6 blocking up here and across here will give us 6 in that square, and then 6 blocking down here and across here will finish off our 6s. Now back up here there's only one number for the to complete the row here, and that's got to be a 5. So now we have 5s blocking down all the way like this. That will give us a 5 in that square there. Now there's only one number either for this block or this row. Same thing. It's going to be a 4. And when the 4 blocks down here, it will give us a 4 in that square. And when the 4 blocks across here, we know that this square here must be a 4. We need a 4 in this column, and so the 4 must go there. Now we can finish off this column with a 2, I believe. And 2 also blocks down here, which will give us a 2 there, and 2 blocks across here. And that finishes the 2s. Not much more to go now. What level am I going to give this? I guess I'm going to give it an easy level game, although I'm not sure if it could be a medium. Maybe I'm just... and maybe I got lucky on the way. I think I'm going to give it an easy ranking, but feel free to disagree. Missing digit here is a 4 for this row, and we also need a 4 here, and we have 4 blocking there, so that will give us the final digit 4. Down here we're looking for an 8, and the 8 will block across here and give us an 8 in that square. Here we need a 3 to complete the block. We need a 3 to complete this column or this block. And to complete the grid, we need another 3. So I'm not sure about the level. Possibly easy, possibly medium. Not to the level of hard, I would say that. So thank you very much for joining me, and hope to see you again later in the day. Bye-bye.